Yo guys, so let's talk about drop shipping on Amazon and Shopify during the holiday season. I mean, if you guys aren't doing it by now, you're probably a little late, but we should talk about it. Let's talk.
That's what's up, guys. This is 𝗦𝗧𝗥𝗘𝗦, and you have reached the Roughneck's Ecom channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're going to find all your answers right here, so stay tuned.
Okay guys, what is going on? So today we're going to be talking all about drop shipping on either Amazon or Shopify during the holiday season. And I'm going to go ahead and preface this. If you guys are just now getting into it, you're already late. Okay, you're already late. You probably should have been doing it months ago, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's try to help you guys out. For the people who are going to be affected by the lockdown, I'm actually going to do another video on that for a Philly Chronicle setup. But at any rate, so which platform should you be choosing during this time frame? Okay, now they both have their places for Q4. Okay, they both can really help you make some money, but for the average person, Amazon is going to be the way to go during this time frame because it requires a lot less finesse than a Shopify business, okay? And unfortunately, the majority of individuals out there, not you guys because you're armed with knowledge, but the majority of individuals out there, they are not prepared, okay? They do not have the skill set necessary to go ahead and build a Shopify store that is going to make them cashola, you know, that guacamole, you know, that 𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. Not gonna happen, okay? So I highly recommend that you guys get into Amazon dropshipping, whether that's private label, you know, there's links below so you guys can check that out. I can teach you all about it. Or getting into retail arbitrage dropshipping, which is technically against Amazon's TOS, but whatever, you know, everyone does it and we make a lot of money with it, but that's neither here nor there. So let's break down how Shopify could be beneficial to you and why it's more than likely detrimental to you, and then we'll get into Amazon because I feel like a lot of people are trying to build out Shopify stores during this time frame and not having a lot of success, and this is going to be why. So let's go ahead, let's talk about it, get some popcorn because this is going to be a doozy. All right, a whopper of a doozy whopper. So when it comes to Shopify, it'll actually make you more money during Q4 in most instances than Amazon will, but you will have had to have started like earlier in the year. You know, you would have already had to been set up for it because in order to build something out and be effective with it, you got to have a skill set that allows you to do that as far as like building out the website, running all the retargeting ads, actually, you know, figuring out which ads are going to work first and foremost and which audiences, you know, having a autoresponders and all types of things, like all that stuff set up ahead of schedule would have worked out perfectly for you. But right now, if you were to try to get in the game and start selling, you know, holiday trinkets and stuff, like you're probably a little late, especially if you're a beginner and you don't know anything. You're pretty much dead in the water. So it sucks, but Shopify has a much higher up end for that because you can control the traffic. And during the holiday season, everyone is essentially just on social media. They're talking to family, they're trying to make plans. So you have more eyes available for you to run your Facebook and Instagram ads to even your Google ads. The problem, like I said before, is if you didn't start all of this ahead of schedule, you're just kind of, you know, SOL. Now, if you were someone who started, you know, earlier in the year and you started prepping and getting things set, you're going to make a ton of money. You guys are going to make an absolute killing, especially when it comes to the holiday season. And the reason why is because people are much more loose with their pocketbooks during the holiday season. People will go into debt because they feel it's justified in order to get gifts for their family. And with the new set of lockdowns coming, you know, especially out here in Pennsylvania, up until January 1st, guess what everyone's doing? They're going to be shopping online. You know, I'm expecting a big COVID influx for Amazon, and it will be the same way for Shopify as well, especially if you guys were deciding to get into the holiday niche, you know, earlier in the year, and you guys have already set up your website, you got your brand strategy set, you have all your social media presence, you know, going strong, you've been reaching out to, potential influencers or people that can help you build that brand. If you've been doing all these things, you guys already know we're already full swing in Q4. Money is being made. There is no reason why you guys aren't, popping out tons and tons of money when it comes to Q4, because, you usually can raise up the pricing during this time, because people are just buying for the sake of buying. They're not necessarily looking at what it costs. Like I said, people are willing to go into debt during this time, so you can raise your prices and increase your profit margins due to the fact you're also not on a platform that will essentially kick you off for price gouging. Okay, like with Amazon, we're going to talk about that in a little bit as to why Shopify is still a more lucrative platform during Q4, especially. Not necessarily an easier platform, but it is more lucrative. Okay, so remember that for next year, guys. When you're getting involved with Shopify, you want to make sure that you are already ahead of the curve. You're not jumping in, when the sharks are already, circling, the chum is out, you got the great whites pulling in. You're kind of like a little, nurse shark, still trying to find your way, into the estuary and all that. So just be mindful of that, guys. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to jump into the Amazon section, and we're going to break out why Amazon is going to be a little bit better for the beginner who doesn't have a skill set built, So let's go ahead, let's talk about it. Let's get out of here. All right, guys. So now we're going to be talking about Amazon and why it is essentially going to be the best platform for a beginner moving forward, at least between Amazon and Shopify right now. So Amazon has all the free traffic that you could ever need. And since Amazon is such a trusted brand, sales balloon during Q4. Okay, you don't have to do anything for that, because people are naturally going to go and shop on Amazon. Okay, there's a reason why Amazon put all these businesses out of business. Sears, Kmart, Toys R Us. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. All right. So the problem comes in when it comes to margins. Okay. Now, when you are getting into something like, let's say, toys and games, you want to sell Funko Pops or like Play Arts Kai figures or whatever. Typically, you're going to be competing with other sellers on those particular listings. The only way to be competitive is really through price and the actual selling experience, getting reviews and things of that nature. The biggest issue is that the larger sellers who have been on the platform for a while generally will have very good wholesale contracts and have been with those guys for a set number of years, and in turn will get better pricing than you will at the same supplier. So they can afford to drive the price a little bit lower because their margins can support that. Your margins can't necessarily support that. So you are going to make less money, although you will probably do more volume just based on the fact that there's so much more foot traffic. Well, I can't say foot traffic, but let's just pretend that there's foot traffic for Amazon. You're going to be getting so much more foot traffic on Amazon due to it being Q4 and people shopping for their loved ones or maybe even for themselves. Now, that's with like wholesale or retail arbitrage. If you're doing private label drop shipping, those rules do not apply because you own the listings, so you own the price. You essentially own the audience who's purchasing that particular item. So you can raise the price, lower the price, as you see fit. But you also have to be mindful of the other people on the platform. With Shopify, you don't necessarily see the other people who are on the Shopify platform who are building websites with Shopify, so your pricing structure is a little off. Whereas with Amazon, you can see it right then and there when you are browsing. So let's say you want to sell Christmas wreaths for your door. You can go search Christmas wreaths, and boom, you're going to see all these different wreaths, all these different styles, and all various types of pricing. So if you get into private label, FBA, private label dropshipping, whichever one, you can go ahead and essentially price your items according to your competition. So you always stay within a set median, so you're not so low that people will perceive you to be trashy and that your brand is garbage, but you're also not so high as to price yourself out of contention and keep yourself from the first page. So it's a delicate, dance that you're doing. It's kind of like the tango. You're getting all movie groovy and stuff, as far as pricing and items go. But it is still probably the best platform for a beginner who's trying to really get their feet wet with drop shipping on an easier way. dropshipping in an easier way, easier format. There's so much software that can really do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. AMZ Scout Pro, if you guys take a gander down below, there's a link there. You get a free trial, you can check it out, and you also get a discount if you do decide to purchase the software. You know, they sponsor me, so in turn I can hook you guys up with big discounts. Also, there is Web Scraper app. That's for retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, whichever one you prefer to call it. And that helps you as far as finding items from different suppliers like Walmart, Target, places like that. I highly recommend it. If you're getting into retail arbitrage dropshipping, use that software, webscraperapp.com. You guys won't be disappointed, and you'll be able to find items that are going to help you get into the space very, very quickly. Those items can be injected into your store like that. You don't have to create listings like you would if you were going to private label dropshipping route, which is what AMZ Scout is very good for. Also, it's really, really good for wholesale if you guys are getting into some of the bigger name brands. So make sure you guys check out that software, and also like the video if you haven't done so. Please do subscribe and click the little notification bell. So be very, very mindful on the Amazon platform, and just know that your margins are probably going to be a little bit lower because you're not going to be able to influx the price too high relative to the competition that are going to be on those listings, not unless the competition is also raising the pricing to compensate for the for the increased volume. Okay. Also, during this time, price gouging is a big deal with Amazon. You know, if you are trying to get all the sales and you're dropping the price to something that Amazon deems unacceptable, you could potentially get your account banned. So that's another downside compared to the Shopify platform. Okay, so also keep that in mind. So guys, hopefully you found this informative, and hopefully you kind of figure out what you're going to do for Q4. If you guys haven't jumped on the bandwagon, you probably should have already done it, but hopefully this will help you get involved and get moving. So catch you guys in the next one. Be safe, be smart, peace out, go make some money. Make sure you like the video. All right, hook it up. Help me with this algorithm. Come on. I don't know why people don't like more often.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Crazy.
They should comment. Like, I answer all the questions myself, and then they still don't.
Maybe we should like start like, oh, you know, kind of cool.